Good morning, everyone. Today is Sunday, September 8th, and this is the weekly update to the Defiance ETFs. So, something I haven't shown actually to date is, stockanalysis.com. They always have good stuff when you click on like individual ETF providers. They show you how big overall they are. It looks like they have total assets of 1.43 bill. Again, I'm not sure how accurate these numbers are. Looking at funds individually, it seems to be pretty close. So obviously, in the overall rankings, this is probably, pretty accurate. You would think they would be actually bigger, but anyway, they have 1.43 billion in assets, and they have 13 ETFs. And their top two funds actually are not the high yielding funds that we cover. Their number one fund is 6G, that has 533 million in assets, and their number two is QTUM. That's the Defiance Quantum ETF, which sometimes Sylvia speaks of in interviews. That's 271 million in assets. But QQQY, I would imagine, would catch that fund at some point. QQQY is at 242 mil. And then, of course, IWMY, JEPY, are right behind them. And then SPYT's behind that. And then outside of that, they got a bunch of other funds that are, not that big, kind of small overall. But, they have, in my opinion, they definitely need to make some more funds, some big funds to build up their portfolio. And I got a bunch of ideas. Maybe I'll work with Defiance. What do we got here? No. Anyway, so if we go back to ETF providers, if you want to see their ranking overall, what do we say they are? 1.43 billion. That's where they're at. So who's above them? Round Hill is already above them, 1.91 billion. Come on, Defiance. All right, what else we got? Title, okay. What shows under title, actually? I don't think I've ever heard of any of these funds. JoJo. Okay. Anyway, let's move back to where we were. Sorry, but I think I always enjoy this information. I'm not sure if you guys give a damn. But where do we left off? All right, title. I just saw yield max. So yield max overall is 4.27 billion. So obviously they've grown substantially, but it's going to be hard. Granite shares is 5.89 billion, but they've been around. It's going to be hard to catch the big wigs here. When you start to get to the top 20. Although Direction is number 14. So look at them. Yeah, I mean, you ain't catching BlackRock, Vanguard, State Street. You're just not, unfortunately, because they own the world. But anyway, I thought that was a pretty cool to talk about. All right, so let's get into the Defiance update. So, where do we leave off? So, I got a bunch of tabs here. I'll cover everything today. So, this tab here, what I've been doing is I've been covering what the distribution yield is as of the declaration date. So, if you go to QQQY, their latest distribution yield, I mean, it's ridiculous. It's 104%. 104%. Like, where did that come from? I mean, who knows? That's their biggest yield, for sure. JEPY, 71%. Where did that come from? Also their biggest yield. IWMY, 109%. Let's see. Also their biggest yield. So again, these top three, I mean, they've had their biggest yield to date. So again, I would expect a pay cut next month for sure, especially after, this month is not doing well at all so far. But either way, I mean, just a massive, massive yield. Could it be because the extrinsic income that they produced did actually produce this much income, or did they throw a little buffer in there to make a little noise and get their name out there again? So I don't know. Let me know what you think. SPYT, and QQQT, again, they're 20%. There's no most. These are the most boring funds that they have. In fact, like some people, they would much rather boring, and safety, because a 20% yield with capital flat or capital appreciation, that's a winner in a lot of people's books. And it is. I mean, that's back in the day. I mean, what, 5 years ago at least, you'd be like, yeah, right, you ain't getting that performance. But these are funds that can do that. USOY, their last yield was 75%. That is also their biggest yield. I'm losing my voice for some reason. Sorry about that, guys. Let me take a sip of water. Okay. And then down here, you see the average yield, which is, not, it's obviously IWMY is the leader. USOY, no, QQQY number 2, then USOY, then JEPY. So, as of right now, I think most of you know this, I only invest in JEPY and IWMY. I had to sell out of QQQY because I was over-indexed in these high-yield funds, so I had to make a decision, and I cut QQQY. Some other quick information, QQQY, JEPY, we know they launched in September of 23. And IWMY launched in October of 23. So let's talk about house money. So house money wise, QQQY, if you invested in them from inception, you would have gotten paid back 52% of your original investment, which is pretty damn good. IWMY, even though it came out a month later, they paid out even more. They paid out 54% of your original investment. And JEPY has paid 40% of the original investment. So, again, not bad. This is without drip. Keep in mind, if you did drip, that would, make it do pretty good as well. Obviously, much better. And then SPYT, 10%, USOY, 19%, and so on. What else? What else you got? Any information? Implied volatility of the different indexes. The highest one is still, USOY for USO, and then QQQY, IWMY, kind of in the same range. So nothing new there. And then obviously the latest distributions, we know how big they were and how much they yielded, so nothing to talk about there. All right, so now to how they've been doing. Let's see how you been doing. Let's see. This is the last payment. Okay, so they paid. This is QQQY. I should probably put that in the corner, top corner. That would help, right? Oh no, it is. It's on the top under column C. All right, so they paid $345, right? And then that same day, 8/31 ex-dividend date, I mean, they lost $1.16. Not only did they drop for the distribution, but the fund, it went down to $1.16. I think that was a Friday. And then, the weekend happened. I think there was a holiday in between, and then they made 5 cents. Woohoo. They made 15 cents. Woohoo. And they lost 80 cents. So they are down $1.76. Again, before people freak out, I mean, it's been a bad 2 weeks. It's been a bad week. The whole market's down. So should not be a surprise. If we go over to the right in pink, total return, they are up, from inception, without drip, of course, 8.75%. So, their total return went down. This sucks, but it is what it is. As these go down, if they continue to go down, obviously their total return will eventually turn negative. But, I don't expect the market it can't tank forever, right? Let's see how JEPY has performed. They paid a massive distribution of $2.75. Obviously, I'm not going to talk about their recovery rate, by the way, because if they're not making money, then there's no recovery rate. You see what the negative number are. No need to talk about it further. Same day, ex-dividend date, they lost 86 cents. JEPY did. And then they made 10 cents, they lost 4 cents, and then they lost 59 cents. So they are down $1.39. Total return for JEPY, 9.78%. IWMY paid a massive payment, $3.67. Same day they lost $1.21. Yikes. And then they made 9 cents, and then they lost it the next day. And then they lost 40 cents. So they're down $1.61. Total return for IWMY, 11.49%. Again, IWMY is truly the most unpredictable one, but it really has dominated the three. Of the three, total return, IWMY is the dominant force. I do own JEPY and IWMY. So if I truly had to cut one, I'd have to, JEPY has always been my favorite, but IWMY has been the consistent one of dominance in total return. But we'll keep an eye on that and see how that goes. Okay, let's go to SPYT. SPYT paid out 33 cents. Unfortunately, same for them. Same day, ex-dividend date, they dropped 36 cents. Then they lost 5 cents, 3 cents, and 32 cents. So they're down 76 cents for the month. Yeah, everyone's down. I mean, what can you do? Last week was horrible. Total return, they're up 4.56%. All right, USOY paid $1.05. That same day, they lost 52 cents. And then they lost 22 cents. They made 8 cents, and then they lost 16 cents. Total return, unfortunately, they're in the negative 6.68%. So this fund has not done, all that well from inception. But, it's another alternative to the others. Hopefully things turn around, and we'll see how that goes. Now, the dividend for QQQT was 31 cents. They lost 59 cents that same day. And then they lost 4 cents, 1 cent, and then 44 cents. So they're down $1.08. And total return, they're no better. They're down 7.19%. Basically, they launched at a bad time. So it's going to take a little time for them to catch up. But yeah, it's been a rough one, man. I wish I had better numbers to report to you. But again, it is what it is. Some may consider this a good buying opportunity, and some may consider this a place to get out. I don't know. Again, it's up to the person. Some people have a different risk appetite. Some people just don't want to see this, so they sell. But that's how you lose a lot of money, right? When you sell when things are bad. But if you stay in on the recovery, then obviously things will get better. When is the recovery, though? Who the hell knows, right? Anyway, let's move on to the favorite spreadsheet, the summary. So as you know, from day one, I've been capturing how much premium income each fund has made as compared to how much it paid out. The first 2 months of QQQY and JEPY, they didn't make a dime. In fact, they lost money when they were paying out money. So that was a terrible start. But then in December, they made, at least QQQY and JEPY made more, right? Let me zoom in a little. There you go. They made, like QQQY made $3.18, they paid $2.79. JEPY made $2.76, they paid $1.95. These are the months that we need to see again on these funds. I know it's been a while, but that's what was attractive about these funds. And then you go to January, same thing. In fact, IWMY as well. They all made more than what they paid out. So you actually did get capital appreciation. But yeah, unfortunately, that ended in February. March, they made decent money, but they paid out more. April, same thing. May was a disaster. June, they did pretty good. July was not bad. August was horrible. September was meh at best. So what do I have down here? Capital gain loss. So how much, premium income versus payment paid out. Obviously, there's going to be a loss in all of these. Actually, SPYT's flat. But yeah, if you take that capital loss and you add in total distributions, though, it shows you really how much premium income that they did make. So QQQY truly made 704. JEPY truly made 726. IWMY, we said they're the winner. It's showing here as well. 857 is what they made. SPYT, if you look, they actually made $1.67 and they only paid out 166. So this is true 20% capital flat. Perfect fund. Again, I trust QQQT will be similar. In fact, maybe a little even better as time goes on. But really good funds. Latest yield. Okay, latest yield did not update because I changed my formulas. See, 25. See, 25 times 12. Oh, yeah, the payment. Crap, I screwed up the payment. So the numbers are all screwed up. So the payment has to move up. I think it's 357. Yeah, it moves up 3 cells. See, I knew there was one thing I missed. Sorry, guys. So -3 is 354. All right, my numbers are going to change now. 349. IWMY, 307. SPYT, 179. USOY, 115. Last but not least, QQQT, 73. Okay, this will obviously affect the numbers. So, if you add, you deduct that away, it'll show you, it should take to 29, distribution should add up to 29. Yep, okay. Did the numbers not change? They should have. Either way, I'll double check it after, but it should be pretty accurate. If not, I'll refresh it. Oh, yeah, SPYT, yeah, premium income $1.67. Yeah, no, okay. So you see SPYT, never mind. Scratch that. They paid $1.99, so they actually paid out a little more than what they made, but still, that's pretty damn close, man. That's still pretty damn good. So you have to be pretty appreciative of that. The one thing that people really like from this spreadsheet, again, the numbers didn't change. It only changes once a month, so the numbers didn't change from the previous video. How much do you have to reinvest, right? How much do you have to reinvest in order to try to keep these funds full? And I can't talk about USOY and QQQT because right now they're in the negative, so you really have to reinvest 100%. So far, this is what they're showing. QQQY, 77% you'd have to reinvest. JEPY, 70%. IWMY, 74%. And SPYT, 16%. It's it's just simply based on how much they made versus how much they paid out. And that's how I get that calculation. And then obviously you see the different launch prices, since the reverse split, QQQY, technically they launched at $60, adjusting historical data. The actual price today is $34.51. So when you look at these funds, just capital appreciation, yeah, it's embarrassing, right? They're almost down 50%. JEPY, they launched at 60. They're at 42 again, so they're maintaining their NAV. Much better than others. IWMY, they launched at 60.57. They're at 35.03. So SPYT launched at 20.05. They're at 18.97. No reverse split for these last three. USOY launched 19.94. They're at 14.79. Obviously not the performance you want to see. And then QQQT, they launched at 19.94. They're at 17.90. A little rough. New update to this tab. I'm not going to update it during the video. I'm pretty sure, although you guys didn't say anything, I'm pretty sure I was putting you to sleep on this part when I was updating it. All right, so let's take a look here. So what we're going to do here is talk about the change. So prior week outstanding shares versus current week outstanding shares. I guess I got to zoom out. So for each fund, maybe I got to freeze it. There you go. Perfect. All right, so for QQQY, they actually had an increase of 425,000 outstanding shares. Not bad. Increase of net asset value, well, I should say total net assets, 14.6 mil. And then JEPY increased 100,000 additional outstanding shares, 4.2 mil increase. IWMY, 275,000 outstanding share increase, 9.6 mil value. SPYT increased by 150,000. That's a 2.8 mil increase. USOY increased by 75K, pretty good, 1.1 mil. QQQT, again, I'm shocked. No increase, no nothing. No decrease, no increase, which is, I don't know. I thought for sure that fund would blow up due to the success on SPYT, because most people, they'd much rather invest in the Qs. Well, I shouldn't say most people. A lot of people, they get more attractive like to the NASDAQ versus the S&P, because tech has just been like blowing up lately. But maybe that's not the case. Maybe they like reliability, stability, right? And SPYT has been kind of running the show. Why do you guys care about this? Why am I showing you the change in outstanding shares? You know, that net asset value, like what do you give a damn? Well, isn't it important for the funds you own to actually be successful as well? Right? You kind of want them, you want people, you want them to have interest. You don't want them dwindling down into nothing. So the fact that they do have interest and they are growing is a good thing if you are investing in these funds. That's my opinion, of course. You may not agree, that's fine. But that's why I do cover this, because I think it's a very important piece of information. Which, by the way, if there's anything about the Defiance funds that should be on this weekly video, let me know. Of course, if it's within reason. But either way, give me your comments on that, because I don't think I've ever asked that. But yeah, that's the update. As always, this is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor, clearly. This video is for fun and entertainment. So hopefully you had fun. Hopefully you were entertained. If not, oh well, right? Maybe next week we will do better. But you know, there's a lot to cover. Obviously, a little slight delay in formula adjustments, but that happens, you know. All right, what else? So yeah, that's pretty much it. If you enjoy this content, please hit the like button. And as I mentioned, let me know down in the comments below what you guys think. I guess I'll do a keyword since it is the morning video. Keyword. I don't know. We gotta pray for green. I mean, so I think go green. That's it. Go green. I mean, today's keyword. You know, in the as we approach this coming week, we have to pray for green. So however you want to do that, so be it. But just say go green. It's also, you know, football. When I was, well, back in the day, I would be going crazy for today. First, you know, true Sunday for football. Now that I'm old with kids and this and that and the other thing, it's just not as big a deal anymore. But so there's also, you know, I know they had Thursday night game, but, you know, obviously it's the first Sunday for football, so people are going crazy. I don't have the care anymore. I'm a Giants fan, but honestly, I don't know what it is. I just stopped caring, especially when I got more into investing and all that. Who the hell has time to give a damn about, you know, sports in general? I mean, I do like sports, so when I'm retired, I'm definitely going to make more time for it, but I don't know. So or else I'd give that as the keyword if I cared. But today's keyword is go green. You know, we need frickin' green next week, okay? So you want to say frickin' green, that works as well. Anyway, I'll end the video there since I clearly have no voice anyway. But I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your Sunday, or whenever you're watching this, of course. And I just want to say thank you for watching. Later.